Good morning, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Debbie. I'm a psychic medium, Reiki practitioner, and your general garden variety woo-woo lady. Okay, so as we do every week, I'm going to take some cards out for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But this week we're going to be doing things a little bit differently because today is Tuesday. So today I'm going to do cards more for the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and the end of the week. And I'm going to focus on the energetic overview for those days, what energy we're going to be navigating, and getting some oracle guidance from the cards as well as from spirit, to guide us as to how we can move forward, what we can expect, and how we can handle it. Okay, so let's get right into it. So let's do for the beginning of this week. What energy do we have for the beginning of this week? Ooh, we have the Tower. Now the Tower is not always a fun card, but anyway, if you look at it, that structure is falling down. It's in smoke, but as we can see, it wasn't very sturdily built to begin with. And if you look at the witch, she's looking very smug as if to say, yeah, let's just burn it to the ground, right? So the meaning of this card is that we need to let go of what no longer serves. We need to say goodbye to what needs to crumble. And I'm hearing Spirit say loudly, let us try not to control everything that's going on in our world. Sometimes earthquakes need to happen. Sometimes things that we're working so hard on, or something that we really thought was right for us, sometimes it needs to fall apart because that's a cycle of nature. When nature makes changes, she goes and has a big fat earthquake or a volcanic eruption, and then the earth heals from there and rebuilds stronger. It's the same theory. So the Tower, no, none of us really like this card, but we're always grateful on the other side of it because it makes sense afterwards. When things come crumbling down, it's because they were not strong to begin with, you see, and they need to crumble down so that it can be rebuilt better and stronger. So that's why that card is coming up for the beginning of the week. Okay, let's see what guidance do we have from the fairies. Felt like we needed some grounding, and I like this deck. It's quite a grounding deck. So what guidance is there for the beginning of this week? Weird. Your wish is granted. That doesn't make too much sense now, does it? But it does. And that's because when we want something new, it doesn't really matter what it is, we sometimes need to make space for it first. So the analogy Spirit is giving me here is that, let's say we want to build a new house, right? We found the perfect land for this house, but there's already a house built on it that we don't like. So what do? It's got to be demolished. So let's not cry about the house that's being demolished, because that house is falling apart already. Its paint is peeling, the plumbing is falling apart, the house is no longer viable. But we like the space. So we demolish the house, we let it go to make space for the new that needs to be built there. So in other words, here Spirit is saying, yeah, you're going to get what you want, but you got to let go of what's standing in its way first. Okay, and that's not always a fun experience, but if we trust and we go with the flow, we'll see it's actually quite constructive rather than destructive. Okay, let's get some guidance from the Everyday Witch Oracle, just to further elaborate and give us guidance on this energy. Meditation for creativity. So here, if you look at that witch, she's standing and he's painting with fire, it looks like, and the dog is on the floor finger painting with actual paint. Okay, so the meaning of this card here would be to really focus on, again, what it is that you really want. Time to get creative. Time to think outside the box in creating the new that you're busy creating, because I'm hearing the words rebuilding. So we've had quite a bit of clearing over the last couple of weeks and months. We've been really letting go of the old. We've been sifting through ancestral traumas and patterning and everything that just didn't work for us as old humans. Now we're stepping into being new humans. So we're rebuilding and renewing from the inside out. And that process is a bit messy, right? But I am hearing get creative, think big with the new that you're wanting to create in your world. I'm hearing Spirit say loudly that nothing is impossible. So think big. Okay, let's see. What do we have for the middle of the week? What do we have for like Wednesday, Thursday? This one sticks out. It says the Hanged Man. Now that witchling is standing there suspended from his broom. He's got his eyes closed and his hands are tied. So this card, it basically talks about a limbo. So it looks like beginning of the week we're quite proactive, right? We're getting things done. Middle of the week, I'm noticing he can't do anything. He's stuck. So this card here tells me two things, and it depends on which applies to you. So think about, is it time for you to get unstuck and to free yourself from where you're feeling trapped, right? Or do you need to be still for the moment and do nothing, right? Because in the beginning of the week here, we would have put things in motion. We're letting go of the past. We're making space for the new to come in, right? So in that process, we can decide, are we going to remain stuck? Are we going to just keep hanging around waiting for things to happen? Or do we need to unstuck ourselves and move forward? Spirit is saying you'll know which meaning is appropriate for you for those days. So yeah, I actually love the artwork on this card. Okay. And also, sometimes hanging around and waiting for things to happen is constructive, because that's when we get good ideas, we get insights and inspiration. But when we hang around and wait for things to happen, it's akin to being a procrastinator. And nothing happens when we procrastinate. So find the line. Are you procrastinating? Or do you need to rest and just get out of your own way because you've been doing too much? It's a fine line there. Okay, now Friday. Oh no, wait, look at me skipping ahead. Sorry, we forgot Oracle. Sorry. Okay, let's get a fairy card for elaboration on the Hanged Man. It says daughter. And it says here the answer to your question involves your daughter. So here, this would be, let's say if you're pregnant and you're worried about your baby and it happens to be a little girl, or if you have a little girl as a daughter, I'm hearing this as a confirmation from Spirit that everything is okay. She's being well taken care of, even though she seems to be flying through the air without a care in the world, right? Just trust she's been taken care of and she's being supported. So there's nothing to worry about with your daughter. Another application of this card would be to pay attention to, if you're a woman, your own inner little girl. Where do you need to play a little bit more? Where do you need to have a little bit more fun? Where do you need to unstuck yourself and go and play and live a life filled with childlike wonder, right? That's the other meaning to this card. Another one I'm getting with this is, Spirit is saying, just lighten up. Just be playful. Okay. Okay, let's get some guidance from the Everyday Witch Oracle on the Hanged Man. Let's ask for elaboration on how do we navigate this Hanged Man energy. Air magic. Now please notice this little girlie flying through the air there. And here we have air magic. So this is all about air. This is thought. This is mind. This is about being playful, flying through the air unencumbered, being free. Now this card here tells me it's time to, in the middle of the week, right, while we hanging around, some of us are hanging around doing nothing, let us really go within our minds, get creative, think about, again, what it is that we want, what do we want to bring forward. Let's think about genius ideas while we're hanging, right? While we're not doing anything, let's get the mind involved. How can we co-create with Spirit? How can we really think about potential, right? So there's that. And then let us have a look at Friday more of the weekend. Let's see, what energy are we navigating there? The Knight of Wands. So here we have fast forward movement. Now please notice what looks like mountains in the background, and there's a fiery dragon there. So this witch is looking to the future. He's looking at where he's going. He's all about the get up and go. He's got his wand in his hand and he's ready for this. So Friday and the weekend, this is about being proactive. So you're going to feel ready now, right? To move ahead, to get things done, to be proactive, to take charge with this new insight I'm hearing that we would have gained during the week, right? So Friday and the weekend, lots of action, lots of restless energy, and enthusiasm and fire. But remember that if we don't utilize that energy has to move. If we don't utilize that energy, we can feel stuck, bogged down, angry, and we're prone to angry outbursts. So let's not get angry and have angry outbursts. Let's be proactive and let's go do something that's going to be constructive towards our future. Okay, so there's that. Now let's see what guidance the Fairy Oracle has for Friday and the weekend. We have everything's okay. I love this card. And I love how her hands are up and there's light coming out of them. It's like she's saying, whoa, just calm down. Everything is fine. Okay? And what I'm hearing with this is as we take steps forward, as we take action and we start moving forward with our plans, our dreams, our goals, etc., that it's actually all working out perfectly, right? And again, I'm hearing this week, God is in charge. Spirit is in charge. The universe is in charge. They know what they're doing. We just need to show up, right? And be proactive towards our goals. We don't need to micromanage the universe. The universe has its own heartbeat, its own current that it works with, and it's usually, it always is a benevolent current, even though it doesn't always look like that. Especially when we have to go through clearings like the tower, right? But essentially, as we move forward, we're being supported. Everything is okay. We just need to calm down, take a deep breath, get out of our own way, and trust. Okay, let's see, what guidance do we have from the Everyday Witch Oracle for further elaboration for Friday and the weekend. We have meditation for peace and serenity. Can we talk about how beautiful that card is? Look at the artwork. Okay, so now this is very interesting because we have the Knight of Wands, which is all about fire, passion, forward, movement. And now we have a very watery, calm, serene element. So this is about balancing emotions for the weekend, I'm hearing. And I'm hearing take nothing and no one personally. Take nothing and no one personally this weekend. If we do feel a little bit triggered, right? Everything is okay. Just whoa, calm down. Don't take anyone's angry outbursts personally at all. Rather retreat, take some quiet time for you and really ponder, why are you being triggered? Triggers are wonderful things. Triggers bring things to the surface. They bring our awareness to what needs to be healed, or what needs to be integrated, or what needs to be just held, right? So don't be triggered. Don't allow yourself to get upset by others. Rather dig deep and see what's going on inside there. Okay, so it looks to be quite an interesting week with the same weird up and down kind of energy that we had last week, because it's almost like we flip-flopped energetically. Like one moment we were fine, like woo, we can do this, and then 2 minutes later we were like, oh my god, my whole world is falling apart. And then the next day we were fine, and then the next 5 minutes later after that we were like, oh my god, everything. So yeah, it's that same sort of follow through, okay? And it feels almost like we're between worlds. To that end, Spirit is actually saying that at the moment, energetically, we're on one level of existence that we've always been in for so long, right? We've been on one level of existence. And then we're busy integrating a new level of existence, which is this new Aquarian age that all of us spiritual woo-woo people like to talk about. So it's like we're between worlds still. We're not 100% here. We're not quite here yet. We're kind of lingering in between these two worlds. So we'll flip-flop. We'll go into the new reality a little, and that's quite nice. And then some old baggage, a little bit of extra baggage will pull us back. And we've got to feel it to heal it and process it, and then we can go forward again. So it's almost like we're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So that would explain why we'll go from highs and lows all the time. Spirit is saying the best way for us to navigate that at the moment, take a step back, go into neutral observer, as in, okay, everything that's happening around me is not because of me. It's nothing personal, right? Go into the state of trust, as in trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should, and keep following your intuition when it comes to action steps. And remember, we don't need to know the whole map. We just need to take one baby step at a time and trusting the process here as we evolve. So as a broad overview, what I love about this week for us is that we are really rebuilding here. This is a constructive week, and it's about doing things differently. This is about getting what we want, yes, but doing it differently. As in, let us not be afraid of what's leaving our lives. Let us not be afraid if we're losing a job, or God, losing a home, or whatever it is that's leaving our life. Let us not be afraid. Let us rather go into trust that everything is happening for good reason. Again, if you want to build a brand new house in the right plot of land, you've got to clear out what is there already if it's not serving your purpose, right? So we're working on that. Then we're getting creative in the middle of the week, where we are either taking time out to just hang around and think about what it is that we'd like to bring into our world next, and get creative with it and get playful with it, or it's time to get out of a rut and it's time to stop hanging around and stop procrastinating and take action. Like I said before, it's up to us to decide which one of that is relevant for us at that point. And then for Friday and the weekend, we have fast forward movement, we have proactive energy coming through, we have inspiration, we have this fired up, let's go and do this energy. But then with it also comes impatience, temper, possibly angry outbursts. Don't take anything personally. Everything is indeed okay, right? And just take some time for quiet and for meditation, and to just look after your own emotions, which might be a little bit on the sensitive side. Because let's be real, we're all in this together. We're all in the same sea together. We might not all be in the same boats, but we're definitely in the same sea. And how we're navigating the sea is up to us to decide to make that choice. But we're all in this together, right? So here's to a very happy week ahead, a very constructive week ahead. Let us construct wisely, and let us use the lessons that we've learned and our newfound talents, power, etc. to make that happen. So sending you all so much love. Thank you always for being here, and thank you for all your comments that I love reading. And have an amazing week. Sending you so much love. Take care and keep well. Bye.